the most active investors often see the lowest returns. Over a recent 20-year period, the S&P 500 averaged a 9.06% annual return, yet the average equity fund investor earned only 6.4%. This massive performance gap is not due to a lack of effort, but rather an excess of it, driven by a psychological phenomenon that forces people to trade when they should be standing still. This deep dive examines the action bias, a hidden wealth killer that convinces individuals that doing more leads to earning more. By the end of this analysis, the data will demonstrate why strategic inactivity is the most profitable skill anyone can master in the pursuit of long-term financial independence. Human biology is hardwired for movement because, for thousands of years, survival depended on immediate physical responses to threats. In a prehistoric environment, those who hesitated were often eliminated, creating an evolutionary preference for action over inaction in any high-stakes situation. Psychologists call this the action bias, where people feel a stronger urge to act during times of uncertainty, even if that action is counterproductive. A famous study of professional soccer goalkeepers found that they dive left or right on penalty kicks 94% of the time, despite the data showing they would save more goals by simply standing in the center. In the world of personal finance, this manifests as a constant need to check brokerage apps or react to breaking news headlines. When the market experiences a standard 10% correction, the biological urge to do something often overrides the logical decision to hold a diversified portfolio. The brain interprets a red stock chart as a physical threat, triggering a fight-or-flight response that is wholly unsuited for modern capital markets. This results in emotional decision-making that prioritizes short-term relief over decades of compounding growth. Studies from major brokerage firms show that accounts with the highest turnover rates, meaning those who buy and sell most frequently, almost always underperform the broader market indices. Movement in a portfolio is often a sign of anxiety, not a sign of an effective strategy. But here's where it gets interesting. The costs of this action are not just psychological, they are deeply mathematical and can be measured in cold, hard cash. Every time an individual initiates a trade, they encounter a gauntlet of invisible costs that erode their total returns. Even in an era of zero-commission trading, the bid-ask spread ensures that someone buying a stock pays slightly more than the market price, while a seller receives slightly less. The most significant penalty for activity is the tax drag created by short-term capital gains. In many jurisdictions, assets held for less than 1 year are taxed at ordinary income rates, which can be as high as 37% for top earners, compared to the much lower long-term rates of 15 or 20%. Consider a hypothetical $10,000 investment that doubles over several years. An active trader might lose thousands of dollars more to the IRS than a passive investor who simply waited to sell. This friction makes the action approach a race against a massive mathematical disadvantage. Furthermore, active management within mutual funds often comes with higher expense ratios to cover the salaries of researchers and the costs of frequent trading. A 1% annual fee might seem small, but over 30 years, it can consume nearly 1/3 of a portfolio's potential ending value. Historical data shows that after 10 years, 85% of large-cap fund managers fail to beat the S&P 500. If the professionals with Bloomberg terminals and Ivy League degrees cannot consistently win by taking action, the average individual has even less of a mathematical edge. The data tells a different story about who actually builds the most wealth. It is often the people who are technically doing the worst job of managing their accounts. A legendary internal audit conducted by Fidelity Investments reportedly found that the best performing accounts belonged to people who had either forgotten they had an account or were actually deceased. While morbid, this highlights a profound truth. The inability to intervene is often an investor's greatest asset. This is often referred to as the coffee can portfolio, a concept where someone buys the best companies they can find and figuratively puts the certificates in a coffee can for 10 years. By removing the ability to sell during a panic, they allow the power of compounding to work without interruption. Compounding is backloaded, meaning the vast majority of gains happen in the final years of an investment's life. For example, 80% of Warren Buffett's multi-billion-dollar net worth was generated after his 65th birthday, purely because he stayed invested for 7 decades. Interfering with a portfolio is like uprooting a tree every few months to see if the roots are growing. The very act of checking and moving the plant ensures it never reaches its full height. Wealth requires a level of patience that feels like boredom, but pays like a high-intensity job. The market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Since 1900, the United States stock market has been positive in approximately 75% of all calendar years, meaning the odds are overwhelmingly in favor of those who simply stay in the room. However, staying patient is easier said than done, which is why the most successful individuals build systems to force themselves into inactivity. The secret to building wealth through doing less is automation. By setting up a recurring direct deposit that moves a portion of every paycheck into a broad market index fund, an individual removes the need to make a decision every month. When the process is automatic, the action bias is bypassed entirely. The money is invested before it can be spent or before the individual has time to worry about the latest economic forecast or geopolitical tension. High net worth individuals often use a set and forget approach to their core holdings. They treat their brokerage accounts like a one-way street, where capital flows in but rarely flows out until a predetermined life milestone is reached, such as retirement or a major purchase. Another effective strategy is the rule of 24 hours, where an investor commits to waiting at least one full day before making any trade that wasn't part of their original plan. This allows the emotional fight-or-flight response to subside and the logical brain to take over. By reducing the frequency of portfolio check-ins from daily to quarterly, the probability of seeing a loss drops significantly. On a daily basis, the market is almost a 50-50 coin flip, but on a one-year basis, the probability of seeing a positive return increases to nearly 75%. The ultimate goal is to become a passive observer of one's own wealth creation. In the modern economy, the greatest rewards don't go to those who work the hardest at trading, but to those who have the discipline to let their money work hard for them. The data is clear. Wealth is built not by the frequency of one's actions, but by the duration of one's patience and the minimization of unnecessary movement. If this changed how you think about wealth building, the next video breaks down the specific math of how compound interest transforms small monthly contributions into multi-million-dollar portfolios over time.